Welcome back to the channel, guys. Let's jump straight in because this one's going to stir some real feelings. The story breaking today hits at the heart of what many people have been warned about for years. A former church in Blackburn, a 130-year-old Leamington Road Baptist church, has now been converted into a mosque, and a Muslim influencer celebrated it in a video, calling the building a big, beautiful masjid and declaring, "We're taking over." Yes, taking over. That's not subtle language. That's not quiet integration. That's a bold statement. The influencer walks the street claiming the church is no longer a church, and inside, children can be heard reciting verses from the Quran. The building isn't just a place of worship now, apparently. It also houses what it says is a primary school with over 130 boys and 150 girls reading, memorising, reciting Islamic scripture. Now, I want to be clear. I'm all for freedom of religion. I get that communities change and people move, and sometimes buildings change purpose. But what I see here, and what many in Blackburn and across the country see, is not a quiet change. It's a declaration, and when public messages start using language like takeover, it isn't just about bricks and mortar. It's about identity, culture and power. Think for a second, a building that once served Christians for well over a century, now repurposed, and the shift is celebrated, not with "let's coexist," but with "this place is ours now." For many Brits whose families grew up around these institutions, that feels like a loss of heritage, a loss of shared identity, and for communities already feeling the strain of a rapid demographic change, it feels like a boundary has been crossed. And it's not just about religious buildings. Look around, churches closing, mosques opening, conversions happening across towns, often quietly but sometimes loudly and publicly. When you have what effectively becomes community-controlled institutions with worship, schooling, charity and sometimes social funding, you have parallel structures forming, not integration, parallel societies. What really sticks out is the tone. The influencer didn't say, "We hope to share this building peacefully." He said, "We're taking over." That's not a request. That's a claim, and claim by numbers. Children studying inside, lessons, a school. It's a long-term investment in community growth and identity. But let's also think about the wider context. In many parts of Britain, people feel squeezed. Housing crisis overstretched, public services, jobs under pressure, cost of living skyrocketing. Add that to the sense of national identity, cultural norms, traditional heritage, whether Christian or British, are being eroded. For many, seeing churches sold off and turned into mosques feels like one more sign that things are slipping away. Supporters of these conversions would always say it's about religious freedom, community need, or simply population change. They call warnings bigotry or fear-mongering. But what if this isn't about religion per se? What if it gets to define Britain's future, the language used? We're taking over. This is now our mosque. It's hardly about peaceful coexistence. It's about community dominance. I want to be honest, I don't think this is going to end in violence. I don't think every mosque or Muslim community is a problem, but I do believe we need boundaries. I believe we need to protect heritage, protect identity, and protect the rights of long-term residents to feel their country still being recognisably theirs. When structural changes happen without consultation, when buildings bought, repurposed, turned into cultural and religious centres that deserve democratic scrutiny and public debate. Because once you're comfortable with churches becoming mosques under the guise of diversity or community growth, you're giving up control, slowly, quietly and maybe permanently. If you believe in national identity, tradition, shared culture and the rights of ordinary Brits, this story matters because this is bigger than Blackburn. It's about who gets to decide what Britain looks like in 10, 20, 30, 50 years from now. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you want more honest political commentary and don't want to miss what's really happening behind the headlines, please hit subscribe now and drop your thoughts in the comment. I want to hear what you think.